Yeah, peace. What up? This is another short, coming through with another short. And what I want to do is this short is going to be about, you know, fools. This short is going to be about fools. And it's going to be short. All right. But what I want to do is I want to finish out the tongue. So, going back to the Bible, right? Let's go back into Proverbs. So we in Proverbs, the 15th chapter, right? Proverbs is wise sayings. That's what Proverbs is. So we in Proverbs, the 15th chapter, right? And we're going to start at the first verse. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir it up anger. You understand? So you got to be in control of yourself, man. You got to be in control of yourself. It says, the second verse, it says, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools pour it out foolishness. Okay. Let's go to the fourth verse. So look at these well and look at yourself, the fourth verse. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. So what it means is if you're giving good understanding, then you can help people. A wholesome tongue. So if your knowledge is correct, mentally, spiritually, and physically, then you can help people. If you may be an economic major, you can show somebody about finance. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it says a wholesome tongue is a tree of life. But it's really talking about spiritual understanding of the Bible and the Most High and the Lord. Right understanding, not wrong understanding. But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. See, so when you perverse, you're wrong in your understanding of the spirit and in the Bible. Okay, a lot of people spew verses but have no clue. Like they'll say, okay, if you say something that's a sin. No, you have to know what sin is, right? So perverseness is wrong. So you have to know what sin is. If you don't know what sin is and the many different laws that make up sin, then how can you say that I've committed a sin? Then you just judge me, and you judge me wrongfully. Okay? Let's go to the 14th verse. The heart of him that have understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. See that? So it's giving you the nature and the understanding of how, what is a wise man, right? And what is a foolish man. And the tongue, meaning coming from the brain, the tongue. You have to sit down and you have to study, man. A lot of people don't sit down and study this book. And then there's people that get into this book. Like I watch a lot of people, they tell me to come on their videos and stuff like that. And, I watch. They don't understand the Bible. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm better than them, but, it's like trying to play basketball and saying, well, okay, I'm going to put up $1,000 and you're not good. And then you lose and you get uptight. You're not good. But this is not basketball. This is life and death. This is immortality. Okay, so that was Proverbs 15, verse 14. Let me read that again. That's a very good one. It says, the heart of him that have understanding seeketh knowledge. So you got to sit down and see, he's telling you got to sit down and study. If you have understanding, you got to sit down and study, man. This is not a game. This is not a game. You have to sit down and study. Okay? That's Proverbs 15, verse 14. The heart of him that have understanding seeketh knowledge. So if you truly understand what is going on, you're going to seek to know. The word knowledge, that's where you get the word science from. Science means to know. Scientist is the person that knows and understands what science, what knowledge he's studying. So if you know about chemistry, and chemicals and stuff, you become a chemist. So that's the scientist of that art that you're studying. Okay. Let's move on. That's Proverbs 15, verse 14. Let's go to Proverbs 15, verse 23. It says, a man that have joy by the answer of his mouth and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. That means that's why it says in due season. That means you're not speaking out of turn in conversations. You're speaking well in the proper time, in due season. That's like putting on clothes in due season. In wintertime, you put on warm clothes. Summertime, you take clothes off. That's in due season. So knowing how to speak, when to speak. That's why there's a verse that says, study to be silent. Okay, it says a man have joy by the answer of his mouth. So when you are studied now, you can give the proper answers because you have the knowledge. So now it becomes a joyous thing that you're talking properly, that you're teaching properly. You're giving people the right answers. So you have joy of that. Okay, let's move on. Proverbs, that's 23. Let's go to 28 now. It says, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poured out evil things. See that? So that's why you see all these false leaders out here, wannabe sports people that don't know what the hell is going on, that is leading you wrong. The heart of the righteous study to answer. So when you really write, you're going to study and make sure that you got your dot and your T's and your I's about whatever. So I'm not really great at finance, so that's not what I do. You understand? And there's people that may be great at finance. So they study that. They study accounting and all these different things and stuff like that. They understand about money and all these different things and taxes and loopholes and all that. See, so they study to answer. Okay, so when you study in the Bible, the heart of the righteous now, you study to answer, to give the right answer scripturally, historically, whatever it is that you're talking about concerning the verse, instead of jumping and you don't have no clue as to what you're talking about. Okay, you already running down the wrong hole. So that was Proverbs 15, verse 28. Now, let's go to Proverbs 16, verse 23 now. Let's go to Proverbs 16, verse 23 and 24. It says, the heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and added learning to his lips. Look how beautiful that verse is, man. That's all dealing with the tongue. It says the heart of the wise. Now, the heart is dealing with the mind. It's not, see how it's talking about muscle parts of the body, right? The heart is a muscle, the tongue is a muscle, but it's not talking about that. The heart is talking about your mind, and the tongue controlling the mind, spewing out the right things. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So it says that you have to study. Teach it his mouth. So the only way that you can teach your mouth, you have to study. And added learning to his lips. So you can't sit down and say you're reading the Bible and you don't add no learning to yourself. You don't add no learning to yourself. And then it says, pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. See that? Pleasant words. Okay, so you got to sit down and study, man. You have to sit down and study so that you can control your mouth, that you know when to speak and when not to speak and so forth like that. So that was the ending of the tongue, right? The ending of the tongue. And then on the other side, we have fools. So we're going to go into that before the video closes down, right? So on one side, we did the tongue. And on this side, we're going to try to get in probably like 5 or 6 scriptures. I got like maybe 5 more minutes. Fools. So what is the first verse? Let's go to Proverbs 1, verse 7. Let's see what a fool is. Let's go to Proverbs 1, verse 7. Okay. So that's why you have to study these verses so that you can get a clear understanding, all right, as to yourself, what you thinking, how you thinking concerning the Bible. So in Proverbs 1, verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. See that? Do you fear the Lord? Do you fear the Lord? Is the beginning of knowledge. See, now you got knowledge if you have the fear of the Lord. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. See that? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. And that's what a lot of people do. Okay? A lot of people are not about, a lot of people is not about this, man. Peace. So see that? It says the fear of the Lord. So that's the first thing that you must fear, man. You must fear the Lord. But he's telling you, it's the beginning of knowledge. That's how you have knowledge. Everything else, if you don't fear the Lord, everything is garbage. It's garbage. Okay? Let's go to Proverbs 1, verse 22. Let's see what he says. He says, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? Will you love simplicity, and scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. See that? And fools hate knowledge. A lot of people are not about knowledge, man. That's Proverbs 1, verse 22. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 3, verse 35. It's Proverbs, the 3rd chapter and the 35th verse. It says, the wise inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. See that? The wise inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. A lot of people are not wise, man. They just do foolish things. Okay? Sometimes, before I got into the Bible, I would do real crazy things too. Okay? That's Proverbs 3, verse 35. Let's go to Proverbs 10, verse 1. So all these is in Proverbs. Proverbs is wise sayings. Proverbs 10, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad heart, but a foolish son is heaviness of his mother. See that? Let's go to Proverbs 10, verse 8. The wise in heart shall receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. See, a prating fool running his mouth. What does it mean, prating, when you always running your mouth? Let's go to Proverbs 10, verse 13. In the lips of him that have understanding is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. See that? That's a fool. So when you're a fool, you're void of understanding. See that? When you're a fool, you're void of understanding. Proverbs 10, verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. See that? The mouth of the foolish is near destruction. So with that, I say peace.